Now, to kind of speak on Jonathan Majors, let's go into that.
Mhm,
Incredible actor, on top of the
mhm.
world right now. You got Creed 3 coming out this Friday with what's my brother's name? Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the movie Devotion out, The Harder They Fall, Lovecraft Country, Ant-Man and the Wasp just recently came out. Brother's on top of his game. But we can't help but to see, particularly in our community, how they're beginning to promote and lay out this brother. I mean, you
Wow.
see the very controversial Ebony shoot. A lot of people had things to say about that, both on both sides. Then we see the recent shoot of the brotherly love with him very
Mhm.
close and intimate with his brother Michael B. Jordan. I love his brother right here. I don't think I'd ever take a picture with him like that, but that's neither here nor there. As much as I love him, I'm not doing that shit. That's neither here nor there. But what's your thoughts on the conversation in our community currently going on with Jonathan Majors?
I found that there's a couple of strands of the conversation. There's one strand that just says, well, it's not a big deal. It's just entertainment. Why are you being judgmental,
Mhm.
etc. Now, I hear that point of view. I hear that perspective. But what I encourage people to understand is that there is no such thing as just entertainment. It's been
Right.
well established for over 100 years that Hollywood has always had an agenda. It's an agenda that is not the traditional black family agenda. It leans
Mhm.
heavily left in terms of whether it's feminism or LGBT sorts of issues, stuff like that. That's not new to us. What I think you have to understand too is that when you're black, the agenda becomes especially harsh for two reasons. Number one,
Mhm.
black people, because we have not really had the movement in terms of focusing on wealth the way that we should, we don't own anything. So when we go to Hollywood, you don't really have a lot of stake or equity in Hollywood. They own you. It's like either do it or you out, their way or the highway. So a lot of these actors that you look up to and admire, they're just slaves. They're just high paid slaves. They have to do what they're told or they're in trouble. So that's the first area where we're vulnerable. The second area where the blackness is a special target of the agenda is because the world does not want to see the black man as a man. The world has never,
Mhm.
the black man showing up as a man who is intelligent, who is fearless, who has firm, clear values in terms of who he is, who's defining his own narrative. That is one of the scariest things in the world. The scary thing for white folks is not a gun-toting thug or whatever, or a rapper or whatever. That's kind of buffoonery. It's really the
Right.
intelligent black man who says, I love my family, I'm holding it down for mine, and I can take it or leave it on whatever you're putting in front of me. I don't need you. Right. So black men tend to do best in Hollywood if they either show up in a way that is either as a little boy, very immature, very
Mhm.
childlike, or as a little girl, very feminine, or as a clown, like a comedian. You see a lot of comedians doing extremely well, just killing it. Even some of the rappers, unfortunately, are clowns because they engage
Mhm.
in clownish, exaggerated behavior. One or two gold chains is cool. You don't need 50. One or two tattoos is cool. You don't need like 75. It's or just multicolored teeth and all this other craziness, right? So all that's like a clown suit, right? So when the black man shows up as a little boy, little girl, or a clown, he's more likely to be successful. And I hate the idea that they've taken Jonathan Majors and presented him in that very feminine way. So people who think that we're overreacting, you just need to look around you and just realize that this is deeply connected to all the other outcomes that you're seeing in society in terms of where black men end up. We're not in the power chair. We tend to end up in the chair where we're serving other people. So it wasn't really an attack on Jonathan Majors to sort of call out that Ebony shoot or an attack on Ebony. I even know the brother who bought Ebony, and I wish I could talk to him directly. He did reach out, Bridgman, I think Junior Bridgman, I think is his name. He reached out. I just hadn't had a chance to talk to him. So I don't want him to take offense to what we said, but
Right.
you got to really think about how your men are presented. Like, for example, in China, they have a law that says you can't present their men in a feminine way. You're not allowed to
Mhm.
do that because they understand how that image of the men affects how little boys see themselves. You already have a community where most little black boys don't even have a father in the house every day. And that dysfunction has become so normalized that we think that that's okay. It's not okay. Just like it's not okay for a child to grow up without a mother. Why would you think it's okay for them to not have a father? So it's so unfortunate for Majors. I hope that he'll think about it a little more carefully instead of just blowing off the controversy because this is very real and the agenda is real. So people are not overreacting when they're seeing the same thing that a lot of us are seeing.